Hello guys, welcome to our channel. In this lecture, we will learn about polymorphism. Polymorphism is the concept of one entity providing multiple implementations or behaviors. Guys, just remember that polymorphism provides the facility of multiple implementations or behaviors. In this lecture, we will learn how one entity provides multiple implementation. Guys, you all are familiar with Peter. Peter is polymorphic. How? As a high school student, Peter goes to school and hangs out with friends. On the other hand, as Spider-Man, he bashes up bodies. Peter has multiple behaviors based on the context, so Peter is polymorphic. Polymorphic is basically that entity which shows multiple behavior on the base of context. I hope guys now the concept of polymorphic is clear. Now learn about polymorphism in Java. Java provides multiple forms of polymorphism. It allows you to define the same method name to do multiple different things. It also allows child classes to redefine or override parents' behavior for the same method. We will learn the details of this type in the coming slides. As we have discussed that there are two types of polymorphism in Java. One is compile time polymorphism and the second one is runtime polymorphism. First learn about compile time polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism is also known as static polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism refers to behavior that is resolved when your Java class is compiled. Method overloading is an example of compile time polymorphism. Method overloading is how you can use method with same name to do different things based on the parameters passed. For example, the add method in class calculator, for example, can add two integers or floats based on the types of parameters. Let's see the implementation detail of this example. Here there is a class named polymorphic calculator. This class has a method name add. This method takes two integer values, integer a and b. Add these two integer parameters and return an integer value. There is another method that's name is also add. This method takes two float values. Add these two float numbers, float a and b, and return a float value. Let's discuss the implementation details. Now there is a main method here. In this method we initialized an object calc of polymorphic calculator class. First passed two integer values and print out the sum of these integer values. In the second method, pass the two float values and print the sum of these two values. Guys, here two different methods are called based on the context. When we pass the integer values, then the method that sums the integer, that one is called. And when we pass the float values, the method which sums the float values, that is called. As you can see in output, first output is adding two integers, that is 8, and second is adding two floats, that is 9.1. I hope guys now compile time polymorphism is clear. Now learn about runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism in Java is also known as dynamic binding or dynamic method dispatch. In this process, the call to an overridden method is resolved dynamically at runtime rather than at compile time. Runtime polymorphism is achieved through method overriding. Guys, here we are talking about method overriding. Before it, in the previous slides, we have learned about method overloading. Method overloading is done at compile time and method overriding is done at runtime. Let's learn about method overriding. Method overriding is done when a child or a subclass has a method with the same name, parameters, and return type as the parent or the superclass. Then that function overrides the function in the superclass. In simpler terms, if the subclass provides its definition to a method already present in the superclass, then that function in the base class is said to be overridden. In the context of method overriding, first learn about upcasting. Overriding is done by using a reference variable of the superclass. Which method to be called is determined based on the object which is being referred to by the reference variable. This is also known as upcasting. Upcasting is done when the parent class reference variable refers to the object of the child class. For more details of upcasting, we see the implementation of upcasting. For example, there is a class named A. There is another class named B which extends class A. Now for the upcasting purpose, we will initialize the object of class A with class B. Okay guys, now learn about the example of runtime polymorphism in Java. Here we will also use the concept of upcasting. In this example, we are creating one superclass named animal and three subclasses named herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Subclasses extend the superclass and override its eat method. We will call the eat method by the reference variable of parent class, that is animal class, as it refers to the base class object, and the base class method overrides the superclass method, the base class method is invoked at runtime. As Java Virtual Machine or the JVM, not the compiler determines method invocation. It is runtime polymorphism. Let's discuss the implementation detail of this example. Here there is a class named animal. This class has a method named eat. Eat method will print animal eats. There is an other class herbivores which extends animal class. This class overrides the eat method of animal class, and this eat method prints the herbivores eat plants. Same, there is an other class that is omnivores. This class extends animal class. This class overrides the method name eat of animal class and prints the omnivores eat plants and meat. There is an other class that is carnivores. This class also extends animal class. This class override the eat method of animal class and prints the message of carnivores eat meat. Here in this main method, there is an object A which is initialized by animal class. There is an other object H which is initialized by herbivores with the help of upcasting. Another object is O which is also initialized with omnivores. There is an other object C which is initialized by carnivores. Now A dot eat is called the method which is defined in class A. H dot eat calls the method which defines in herbivores. O dot eat calls the method which is defined in omnivores. C dot eat calls the method which is defined in carnivores. Let's look the output of this program. Output is animals eat, herbivores eat plants, omnivores eat plants and meat, carnivores eat meat. I hope guys now the concept of polymorphism is clear. Thanks guys. If you like this video, kindly like and share this video, and for more videos kindly subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon for the notification of latest video.